Hello everyone. Welcome everyone to this webinar. So today this is session 3 of the webinar, and we will cover, yeah, just give me a second. Yeah. Okay. So today we will cover the concept development and validation, right? This is a series which is based upon my book Pivot with Purpose, and today's topic is concept development and validation. There was a question from some of you that how many sessions will be there. So it is will be based upon the book, and chapter by chapter I'm covering. So we will go till the declining or the revamp, the last phase of the product life cycle. So it will go till at least I think 15 to 16 webinar. So today we will deep dive into the concept development and validation, and the agenda will be like a recap of the session 1 and 2, a quick recap, and after that we'll jump into the concept development and validation. Also, we will cover how to use some of the important tools in this journey. So, like lastly time, okay, just give me a second. Let me share my screen. Yeah. So last session we covered about the innovation, ideation, and idea generation, where we discussed about different techniques uh, like brainstorming, scamper, SWOT analysis, toss analysis, and we stitch together how these are working to figure out to get the right solution. Today we will discuss about the concept development and validation. Right. So let's see what is this. So now we have developed the ideas. We understood about the problem. During the last session we discussed about that, right? To identify the market gap, to identify the what is the market size, all other things. Now the thing is how to translate that idea into concept. So we can do this in a multiple way. First we need to define vision, what we need to what we want to achieve, where we want to be. We need to keep user centric approach, creating a statement, what is the concept which we are taking that forward. Visualization and storytelling, whatever tool solution we are doing, there should be a storytelling as well. Documentation and concept repository, validation, refinement, resource allocation, these are some of the aspects which we need to take care. Also, it is not sufficient to just create a concept. We need to have a technique for the concept testing and feedback gathering as well. So for the testing, there should be surveys and questionnaires, interviews, A/B testing, focus group, and prototyping. So today we will see with one of the example, like how can we go through with this? How can we complete all those things? To do this, I'm proposing here a method which is proposed by Google Venture, basically by John Zarowski and Braden Kovitz, with the help of JetNet, the 5-day design sprint. And this is based upon the book Sprint. So first you have a challenge, some problem, and within 5 days span you figured out, you convert that idea into prototype and test with the real customer as well. Sometime organization take months, years to validate the idea. The idea here is to validate the concept first before even jumping into the market, right? So it all started. this design sprint. There is a wonderful story behind it. It started in the somewhere in the 2010, and Google Venture, they realize that most of the companies are investing months and years in building products without validating with the end user and the solving the right problem, and the result is the most of these startups are failing. Although this concept, this principle is not applicable or not useful for the startups only, it will be useful for the everyone whosoever is working on an idea, right? So Google Venture, so they came up with this 5-day design sprint concept. So it will reduce a lot of weeks of the brainstorming, months of product development, and even longer in the validation in the market. So it will help it to reduce those size. So it is start on Monday. Monday is it's a 5-day. So you can start on any day, but this exercise is a 5-day exercise, and we uh, request to have it in a consecutive day. Do not have a break in between. Right. So first day is for the mapping. That is understand the problem, understand the identifying the root cause, and align on one problem to solve. Second day will go into the sketching of the problem. We will sketch the solution, and the idea of this to discuss about the diverse solution. So bring diverse solution on the table. The third day is basically decide on the best. So we have discussed upon about multiple options, and the third day is mostly towards to figure out what works best. Day four is about prototype. So create a prototype and prepare for the client interview. And the last day, that is the fifth day, is validate with real user. Again, I'm talking about validate with real user. I'll share a template with you quickly to showcase that what are the activities need to be done step by step for these. And again, I'm saying this is not my invention. This is already done by Google Venture, and which is already available in the book Sprint. So some case study, like there is a case study about the Slack. So Slack was a company in 2009, and they were working on a multiplayer online game that is called Glitch. But what was happening? After building this game years, and it failed. A lot of things they have invested, time, money, resources. What the result was, it is failed. But during this journey, they figured out they created one internal communication system during this journey, a chat system to which is helping them to collaborate in building this game. Then they thought that what if this tool can we can build this tool as a product. So what they did, the team ran a 5-day design sprint to validate the idea. They mapped the problem. They figure out the problem is communication gap in the teams. They created a sketch, different chat patterns they created, built a simple prototype, tested with few teams, few actual team which were utilizing, and then they figured out the solution. Similarly, it has been utilized in Google, Airbnb, Lego, Uber to solve various problems. Now let me jump into the tools. So this is a Miro board basically, and this tool is already created for the remote design thinking, design sprint workshop. Again, you can copy and utilize it, and it is freely available on Miro board. Again, it is something which is already available, and I'm just sharing utilizing this tool to share with you how to solve your problem. Again, we will discuss the problem will be divided into 5 days: map, sketch, decide, prototype, and test, similar to previous stream which you have seen. So the day one is map. So in this day one, what you will do, everyone will gather in the room, the expert, the team. You may bring some SMEs as well, some external stakeholder as well for this workshop. And again, this is a 5-day workshop. So here, the people will discuss and decide the right long-term goal. What is the long-term goal to solve the problem? So first we identify the problem and what problem we are solving. What is the long-term goal? And there will be a dot voting, one vote per person. Everyone will vote to one of the long-term goal, and we will figure out by that what is the long-term goal on which everyone is aligned. And second part is write some questions. What could go wrong? Like one example here, can we build trust with new customer? So this is a question, right? With respect to long-term goal, what can go wrong? And again, vote for these questions, and whatever vote is winning, the maximum vote, we'll consider that this is the problem. So we'll get a heat map like where the most of the people are there. Now on the day one, the second aspect is ask the expert. So interview expert from the sprint team and the guest from the outside, ask about the vision, customer research, how things work, and previous effort, right? And treat like you are a reporter and fill this. Name the name of the person and fill how might we achieve that goal. So there will be a lot of how might we with in this board once you will discuss, interact with a lot of people, right? Once you have done this exercise, organize HMV with respect to different categories. Pick those HMV, move into these sections. Like here, they have created categories, performance, sales. So within your, based upon your context, you can figure out, right? So you will get to know that like what are the problem area and what are the categories and how might we solve the problem. Even you can have a dot voting here as well, so you can figure out what is the major problem area in the workflow. Now based upon that, based upon the problem area, how might we create a journey map for different kind of user. That may be the customer, that may be the backend user, that may be the buyer, customer. So whosoever is this, create the persona. So create the workflow basically. And based upon the workflow, understand what is the problem and challenges. Now, once this is done, pick one or two actors. So we vote the most important customer in the above list. Like in this case, one of the example is doctor and patient. For this example, these are the most important customer, and create a workflow for these two and where they are working, they are interacting. Right? Week one, make appointment through website, appointment, discuss trial, enroll, begin therapy, all of these things. So this can be changed based upon your context. So at the end of day, you have figured out where you have to focus, which user you have to focus, which workflow you have to focus to achieve the long-term goal. Now, once that is done, you will create a problem statement around this, and then here we come on the day two. On the day two, the first thing will be the lightning demo. In the lightning demo, whatever visual representation is available from the competitor, and so we need to look outside for this one, right? What are the tools available, either from the screenshots of the some website, some application, or if it's a physical product, some model, some actual product from the competitor, or with whatever is available in the market. So there will be a lightning demo, and 3 minutes per demo will be given. Once this is done, this is a very interesting exercise actually. The 4-step sketch. During this exercise, you will have so there will be 4 steps in this exercise. In the first step, you will have a A4 sheet So get some sheets, paper, sticky notes, that should be there. And this is not within the online tool, this is everyone need to do offline. Everyone means everyone in the person in the group, and everyone need to work themselves. It is not a discussion, everyone will work. Like, so everyone will discuss like what is the things coming in the mind about the problem. So whatever is coming, write down here. Remember whatever we voted in the HMW, how many sections, the last day, the lightning demo. So take your notes here. And once you have taken the notes, you focused on the notes, the next 20 minutes, focus on the, this is time to get visual. So try to create some images, some solutions on the sheets. Once this is done, so till the time you have spent 40 minutes, you have a fair idea, you understood about the problem, you have thought through some sort of solution as well. Now it's a time for crazy eight. Crazy eight is a wonderful exercise, although it may be like sometime it may look overwhelming, but you have only 8 minutes. This is a time bound exercise. Take a A4 sheet, fold that into 8 parts basically. So there is a grid of 8 boxes, and create the rapid variation of the ideas. Again, you need to show it to everyone. It is just for your use. So notes, ideas, and crazy eight are for you only. And this is just a 8 minute exercise, whatever you can do quickly. And at the end, now you will get the 45 minute. At the end, you have done this exercise, the notes, ideas, and crazy eight. Now this will be shared with the other people as well. So also you will not get time to explain your concept, so you have to create in a way, once you share with anyone, people should be able to understand the concept. So use A4 sheets or the A4 letter basically to create a potential solution for the sprint challenges which we have determined what we are going to solve. Once this is done, so there is another exercise of create a solution. So solution sketch basically. So take 3 sticky notes on the A4 sheet, create the solution based upon the problem, write down like here, write down some notes as well, and one sticky note is one step of the solution. And if that is required, use add more sticky notes as well, and give this a catchy title. Like this is taken from the Tesla, so they gave the title Cybertruck, right? Once you create it, and this is called art museum as well. You are doing a lot of artistic work. So once you are finished, you are done with this sketch. Share this sketch with the facilitator, and you are done with the day 2 here. Now day 3 will be here. Everyone will share their examples. They are basically solution sketches, and these solution sketches should be anonymous. Do not write your name, and there will be a voting process as well. Like and where is the heat? So it's a heat map process basically. Where is the majorly vote? That should be taken into consideration and discussion. And there may be certain decision maker as well, so they will have some super vote as well, that is we having the major weightage to solve the problem. Now based upon this solution, start creating a storyboard. So to start the storyboard, we have some user, what user is doing, what is the workflow, start creating that. Based upon the workflow, create a storyboard. Let me give you one example of a storyboard. Like if I want to purchase a product, or I am working on an e-commerce website, so there will be a landing page, and after the landing page there will be like product catalog, category selection. I'll select a product. Once I'll select the product, I'll go to the cart page. After going to the cart page, I can modify the quantity, I can add my delivery address, etc., make payment, and the order done. So make sure you are capturing all these screens. The story should be stitching end to end journey, right? So once this storyboard is done, because we have already aligned what are the this one sketches, we are taking that forward accordingly. The story will be aligned and we will have a storyboard. Now we have a storyboard here. So day 3 is done and day 5 is totally belongs to prototype. Work with the designer, create a production like prototype. Do not waste a lot of time, but still it should be giving a feel of real solution. Once that you have created this, the user is getting, so prototype is like that may be in HTML5 and in PPT as well, but try to make it as close as possible. Also, during the one important aspect on this session 4 or the day 4 is preparing for the interview. Prepare what kind of question you are going to ask from the real user. That should be taken care. Now, once prototype is done and also you have prepared for the customer, actual user, you have invited them, make sure they are coming, they are attending. Now it's a day 5 to validate with the real user. Whenever I'm saying real user, test with the real customer. Do not do within the product manager or the other stuff, other people within the organization are doing testing. No, that will not work. Real user should be there. And with the real user, you may create like a timeline like this one, customer two, customer three, four, five, based upon the count of the customer. And fill up all the detail. What is the feedback for the customer for each and every step? What is the feeling? Also, what this book is also suggesting one method, whenever you are doing this testing with the actual user, there should be a video conferencing from the other place as well. So the people who are not in room also looking towards the customer and understanding the how the customer is perceiving the product, perceiving the solution. Because sometimes whenever we are talking is a bit different, but if the people are observing, then they'll be able to add a lot of things. So make sure we have some video conferencing sort of things as well, so that people are available there. Once this is done, you will be able to figure out whatever assumptions or concept you have is you started working on this solution, basically solution or problem. Will that delight the customer or not? Within 5 day time, you will be able to get the answer rather than developing and going to the customer. A lot of organizations have utilized it, like in a Gmail. Whenever they were trying to solve one problem, see, in the inbox there were a lot of emails, and it was a hard thing to figure out what are the prioritized email, what are the like promotional email, other stuff. Then what Google did basically for the Gmail, they did this 5 day design sprint challenges. They interviewed the user, they created a solution, interviewed the user and finalized, and they come up with this solution which, like we have right now, the priority email, the promotional email, all of these things we are having this section wise. We may need not to go to through the each and every email to figure out what are the priority one. So this is, if you want to deep dive, I'll really suggest to read that book Sprint, and For this, if you want to run it in a virtual mode, you can use this template from the Miro board. This is freely available. And if you ever stuck in a product dilemma and unsure about the right solution, irrespective of you are a startup or you are an established organization, and you need to create something big solutions, I would always suggest first go through with the 5-day design sprint process. If you are good, the customer feedback is good, then only go ahead, otherwise it's the time to pivot. Sometimes there is a possibility after this 5 day you may figure out that customer is not liking it. So in that case, you may need to go through the all 5 days again, figure out, pivot that problem, do the customer interview again. Yep. So this is a very important tool. So I would say for the, if I'm talking about this section, the concept development and validation, this is very useful tool which can be utilized by the product manager. Similarly, I'll keep doing this webinar and webinar series. Also, the next part we will cover the feasibility and planning. Now we have created a ideation inception, concept is also developed. Now we need to see the idea is feasible or not. So we will deep dive into this aspect, that how to determine the feasibility of the solution, if the product is feasible or not. It is another stage for the decision making before taking product to the development, right? So this we will cover during the next webinar. So thank you all for joining this webinar, and I'll share the link of the registration for the next webinar in the description. You can go and register so that you are following the entire webinar series to take that forward. Right. Thank you everyone. Have a wonderful day ahead. We'll connect again in the next webinar.